Hello there, this is Heirs to the Kingdom channel, and today's lesson we're starting the book of Numbers. I'll be doing chapters 1 and 2, as it is a little bit to read. I think I got 20 slides, but we are still dealing with Moses and Mount Sinai and the Israelites. So there's nothing to revert back to on last lesson except for the end of Leviticus. But if you're new to this Bible study channel, going through the King James Bible, not skipping any bit of it as Scripture commands, so all of the Word will be read and if need be talked about. A lot of it's straightforward, but things that words we don't commonly use, I kind of look those up and talk about those a little bit. Which parts apply today from Old Testament to New Testament. Of course, when we get to New Testament, I'll talk about how, this is also in the Old Testament. That's how you know that it's Old Testament still matters. All of the Word of God is to be studied, to be read, and to teach your children. It ain't just for you to read personally. This is for parents to raise their children by. This book is far more important than any other book known to man for your children to know. They need to know biblical stories more than even American history, because American history is not going to help their salvation or their eternity. This book does. So, I'm going to go ahead and jump straight on in here. As we've been going through, you've had the commandments, statutes. We went through the 10 commandments in Leviticus and the sacrifices, how to do those, blah, 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 and sojourners in the land, strangers in the land, and doing this and doing that, and the Sabbath stuff, and all that, all that stuff right there. Now, a lot of that stuff does not apply today because it is Israelite law. The sacrifice, everything else, and the added stuff to the Sabbath, but the Sabbath still stands, and it is Saturday. Friday night to Saturday night is the Sabbath. That's the seventh day of the week. I've had somebody say, well, that's what the Jewish people do. Exactly. We follow the same God. They do not follow the Messiah, the Son of God. That's what Christians do. The Jewish people today don't believe that Christ was the Messiah. One day they will. They'll know for a fact that, hey, he was the Messiah, and our people murdered him. So, yeah, we've been following some false stuff. Anyways, we'll get more into that back in, after we get to the book of Revelations. Actually, that stuff's even talked about in Psalms and other parts of the Old Testament, how he'll be rejected even by his own people. The Messiah will come and go, and the people won't even know. Because some people never even met Jesus. And the high priest tried to erase him out of history. And so only the disciples and the followers thereof spread the word of Jesus. They even had murderers go out. Paul was one of them, first called Saul, went out and murdered Christians because he was hired by the high priest and of that stuff, the temple and everything else. They was hired from there to take some men out and kill these blasphemers. That's what he was told. He thought he was doing a good thing. Then all of a sudden Jesus talked to him directly and he found out he was doing the wrong thing. If you think your sins are too great to be forgiven, Saul murdered a lot of innocent Christians, a lot of Christ's children. And he was forgiven by Christ, and then he started going by the name Paul a little bit later on. But anyways, he's actually the author of most of the New Testament. But yeah, I'm jumping ahead pretty far. We're only in the the fourth book of Old Testament. Yeah, we've had Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, and now we're in Numbers. We got 36 chapters here, so I'm hoping to be able to do 2 chapters at a time, but even chapter 1 here's got 54 verses in it. Some of them are short, some of them are long. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started here. Hopefully it might stay in the 30-minute mark. Might be a little over, might be a little under. Let's go. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tabernacle of the congregation, on the first day of the 2nd month, in the 2nd year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their polls. So that's why this is called the book of Numbers. Because now they're going to number the people, number the tribes, and everything else. Because when they do get to the land, they're going to do the numbering system again. So whoever has more in their tribe, which is from the 12 tribes, they're going to get a little bit more land in the new land because there's more of them there. And, well, we get to that whenever they actually, get to the new land after 40 years in the wilderness because they sin against God. And he says, well, you all people are not going to even see the land. They're going to get there, and the spies are going to go out, and they come back and tell their stories, and two say, hey, let's go. And the other one says, well, there's giants in the land, this, that, and the other. Oh, let's fear the place. And so the people question God and says, okay, you all don't get to go, but your children do. And one of the spies that said, yeah, let's go, Joshua, he's going to be the one that leads the people after Moses. But anyways, continue on here, verse 3. From 20 years old and upward, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel, thou and Aaron shall number them by their armies. And with you there shall be a man of every tribe, every one head of the house of his fathers. This is what they call the elders. These are the people that have knowledge, wisdom, and experience. That's why they're the head of the house. But also that the husbands were always, the boys were raised to be men, and the men were this way. They experienced life. They experienced this, that, and the other, so they knew things. Nowadays, not so much. You got plenty of people with their head buried in the sand, and they don't know much of nothing. But yet they get to reproduce and teach their children nothing, and then their children come out worse than them. Used to be you had to earn that position, but now, I don't know. It's went the way wrong direction. But it's verse 5. And these are the names of the men that shall stand with you of the tribes of Reuben. Eliezer, the son of Sheter, of Simeon, Shelumiel, the son of Jerushaddai. I'm going to brutalize these names, but as other part of Numbers is the begots. Who was the leader to the leader to the leader. They're the, this is the person, and their lineage is this all the way back to, whatever, to Reuben. Is who we're doing right now, right? Yeah. Continue on verse 7. Of Judah, I'm sorry. These are, we're doing Reuben, and then Simeon, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. These are the 12 tribes, so here's the head of these. We're going to be getting to those begots, which is very dry reading of all the names, but it is part of Scripture, and we're not to skip anything. Anyways, of Judah, Nahshon, the son of Amminadab, Issachar, Nethaniel, the son of Zuar, Zebulun, Elab, the son of Helon. Of the children of Joseph, of Ephraim, Elishama, the son of Amminahud, of Manasseh, Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur. Let's go with that one. Of Benjamin, Abidan, the son of Gideoni. Of Dan, Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai. Yeah, I don't know where to get their names from, but some of them Went from simple of Dan to whatever that is. 13. Of Asher, Pagiel, the son of Ochran. Of Gad, Elisaph, the son of Deuel. Of Naphtali, Ahira, the son of Enan. These were the renowned of the congregation, princes of the tribes of their fathers, heads of thousands in Israel. So yeah, you were called a prince if you were the leader of your tribe. And you weren't called a king. You weren't called a governor or anything like that because you weren't elected. You're pretty much going to be the oldest one with the most experience. And so you pretty much inherited it because it's a birthright. You're of that tribe. Verse 17. And Moses and Aaron took these men which are expressed by their names. And why is that? Well, Moses is the leader of Levi. So Levi wasn't mentioned here. Was it mentioned here? No. Fix to say. Actually, it would be Moses and Aaron, because Aaron's the high priest, and the Levites are the caretakers of the temples and the tabernacles, and that's the only lineage the priests are allowed to come from. Verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. Now, of course, these names are only going to be of men. Why? Because women are attached to men. They're a part of the man. So only the men are counted here because the women are now belonging to that household under that name. They are no longer attached to the names they were born into, so on and so forth. But anyways, continue on, verse 19. As the Lord commanded Moses, so he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai. And the children of Reuben, Israel's eldest son, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, by their polls, every male from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Reuben, were 46,500. Here we got all these numbers of all the people in each tribe. 22. Of the children of Simeon, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, those that were numbered of them, according to the number of their names, by their polls, every male from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Simeon, were 59,300. So as I was saying, like before, when they fled Egypt, there was like millions, over 1 million people, and they're all walking in line through the wilderness. It was like, so trying to feed all that many people, give water to all that many people, that's a task. That's a task, especially when you're just walking around, staying in tents. Verse 24. Of the children of Gad, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Yeah, I'm going to read fast through some of these because it's saying the same thing over and over and over again, so you end up with it memorized pretty good. But they don't really use the term etc. in Scripture. So, 25. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Gad, were 45,650. Of the children of Judah, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the numbers of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Judah, were 314,600. So 3 score, a score is 20, so that'd be 60. And so you got 14,000. Well, it's like you got the 60 plus the number 14. So 60. I don't know if it's 614. Yeah, it has to be 614. Okay, now I see where I messed up at. So you take the 14 plus 60, so that's 74,600. Yeah. It's a little hard to understand this old English style that they did their numbers at. And so even Abraham Lincoln still talked in these scores because that, had the Gettysburg Address, his famous speech, what did they say, 80 and some years ago? Yeah, 7 years ago. So that would be 87 years. That's how that would be done. So yeah, anyway, so we got the 74,600 people from just that tribe. Continue on here, though. 28. Of the children of Issachar by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the numbers of the names from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Issachar, were 54,400. Of the children of Zebulun, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Zebulun, were 57,400. So for those that are actually writing these numbers down, I'm going to add them up. I think it tells us the total at the end anyways, but moving on. 32. Of the children of Joseph, namely of the children of Ephraim, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the numbers of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Ephraim, were 40,500. Of the children of Manasseh, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Manasseh, were 32,200. Of the children of Benjamin, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Benjamin, were 35,400. Of the children of Dan, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even the tribe of Dan, were 62,700. So the math on that would be 62,700. Verse 40. Of the children of Asher, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even the tribe of Asher, were 41,500. Of the children of Naphtali, throughout their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Naphtali, were 53,400. And so the main reason for this is these men are now being told that you can go forth to war. So part of their normal day-to-day activities, they also need to train on how to use a sword, how to use shields, have these tools available, because you're going to be called to defend your people. This is why it's important to know the numbers, know who's going to be able to do this stuff, and, to also prepare themselves. So would need their outfits or any protective gear, shields, swords, blah, 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 spears, any of that stuff. Let's continue on here to 44. These are those that were numbered, which Moses and Aaron numbered, and the princes of Israel, being 12 men. Each one was for the house of their fathers. So were all those that were numbered of the children of Israel by the house of their fathers, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war in Israel. Even all they that were numbered were 600,000 and 3,550. So today's term, we'd say 603,550. That's how we'd say it today. We wouldn't have all the ands in there. So they're just a little under 400,000 men to be 1 million just for people aged to go to war. These are not including the women. These are not including the children, and not including the ones older than what could go to war. Let's continue on here. 47. I'm going to talk about the Levites. But the Levites, after the tribe of their fathers, were not numbered among them. For the Lord had spoken unto Moses, saying, Only thou shalt not number the tribe of Levi, neither take the sum of them among the children of Israel. So all those men weren't even counted in here. So you probably had well over 700 and something thousand men, because the Levi, like I said, they were the lineage of priesthood and caretakers of the temple and tabernacles. Verse 50. But thou shalt appoint the Levites over the tabernacle of testimony, and over all the vessels thereof, and over all things that belong to it. They shall bear the tabernacle and all the vessels thereof, and they shall minister unto it, and shall encamp round about the tabernacle. And when the tabernacle setteth forth, the Levites shall take it down, and when the tabernacle is to be pitched, the Levites shall set it up. And the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death. So no one else is to do this but Levites. Anyone else touches the stuff, they're to be put to death. This is the responsibility of the Levites. 52. I said, God is very strict on how he wants things done. He means what he says and says what he means. Thank God we're not under these put to death parts just for touching a church wall or something of that nature. 52. And the children of Israel shall pitch their tents, every man by his own camp, and every man by his own standard, throughout their hosts. But the Levites shall pitch around about the tabernacle of testimony, that there be no wrath upon the congregation of the children of Israel, and the Levites shall keep the charge of the tabernacle of testimony. And the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so did they. Chapter 2. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, Every man of the children of Israel shall pitch by his own standard, with the ensign of their father's house, far off about the tabernacle of the congregation shall they pitch. So here they're talking about how, like the Levites, tabernacle, and all that stuff, they pitched in one area. They pitched their tents. They set up sleeping all around that. Then all these other tribes would go out from there, and then they would circle that to protect the Levites and the tabernacles. It's like, so God's house was in the middle of all. That's what this is talking about. Did I read verse 2? Yes, I did. Okay, verse 3. And on the east side toward the rising of the sun shall they of the standard of the camp of Judah pitch throughout their armies, and Nahshon the son of Amminadab shall be captain of the children of Judah. And his host and those that were numbered of them were 314,600. And those that do pitch next unto him shall be the tribe of Issachar, and Nathaniel the son of Zuar shall be captain of the children of Issachar. And his host and those that were numbered thereof were 54,400. Then the tribe of Zebulun and Eliab, the son of Helon, shall be captain of the children of Zebulun. And his host and those that were numbered thereof were 57,400. So it was the first name. Judah has the largest amount of all. So they're all by themselves. And here they're talking about, I think they took no, they didn't take two tribes. I'm sorry. The other ones, they're smaller, but they still have great numbers. Verse 9. All that were numbered of the camp of Judah, and 100,000 and 6,000 and 6,400 throughout their armies, these shall first set forth. So so all these were to be together side by side and everything else. Boom, boom, boom. And of course, this is to protect the rest of the people. Verse 10. On the south side shall be the standard of the camp of Reuben, according to the armies, And the captain of the children of Reuben, I said Reuben, Reuben shall be Eliezer the son of Shedor. And his host and those that were numbered thereof were 46,500. And those which pitch by him shall be the tribe of Simeon, and the captain of the children of Simeon shall be Shelemiel, the son of Jurishadai. Adai, whatever. Weird names. 13. And his host and those that were numbered of them were 59,300. Then the tribe of Gad and the captain of the sons of Gad shall be Eliasaph, the son of Reuel. And his host and those that were numbered of them were 45,650. All that were numbered in the camp of Reuben were 100,050 and 1,450 throughout their armies, and they all set forth in the second rank. Then the tabernacle of the congregation shall set forward with the camp of the Levites in the midst of the camp. As they encamp, so shall they set forward, every man in his place by their standards. On the west side shall be the standard of the camp of Ephraim according to their armies, and the captain of the sons of Ephraim shall be Elishama, the son of Amminahud. And the host of those that were numbered of them were 40,500. And by him shall be the tribe of Manasseh, and the captain of the children of Manasseh shall be Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur. And his host and those that were numbered of them were 32,200. Then the tribe of Benjamin and the captain of the sons of Benjamin shall be Abidan, the son of Gideoni, and his host of those that were numbered of them were 35,400. And all that were numbered of the camp of Ephraim were 100,008, and 8,000 and 100 throughout their armies, and they shall go forward in the third rank. The standard of the camp of Dan shall be on the north side by their armies. Of the captain of the children of Dan shall be Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai, and his host, and those that were numbered of them were 62,700. And those that encamp by him shall be the tribe of Asher, and the captain of the children of Asher shall be Pagiel, the son of Ochran, and his host, and those that were numbered of them were 41,500. Then the tribe of Naphtali, and the captain of the children of Naphtali shall be Ahira, the son of Enan, and his host, and those that were numbered of them were 53,400. And they that were numbered in the camp of Dan were 100,050 and 7,600. They shall go hindmost with their standards. These are those which were numbered of the children of Israel by the house of their fathers. All those that were numbered of the camps throughout their host were 600,000 and 3,550. But the Levites were not numbered among the children of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses. And the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so they pitched by their standards, and so they set forward every man after their standards, according to the house of their fathers. So the hindmost part is the ones furthest to the rear. So they had a direction that they would be heading, and so the way it was reading is the tabernacle and the Levites would be kind of set forth, and then the others would, be around that. I don't know if there was any in front of that in the direction they were going. I can't remember if it said northward or not. Actually, that'd be compass type. I don't know if they even had compasses back then. They probably went by the sun. Either or. All these people were set forth in a certain way and stuff for protecting each other. And a lot of our military standards today are done the exact same way. You know, because it works. That way you got certain people, they're alert first. They pull guard duties, this, that, and the other. They warn people if anything's coming. Everybody starts getting up. And then you have your initial people ready to defend, and it gives a chance for the others to get organized to defend, and so on and so forth. But yeah, so God's preparing them for battle because he knows it's coming. But that's the end of this lesson. I know we're right here at the 30-minute mark, or a little over. And so I'm going to go ahead and end this lesson. A lot of people forget to pray and be thankful that they're not in these situations under constant threat. Now, if you're somebody that votes in blue cities for the craziness that you have to endure, I'm sorry, but you voted for it. So you kind of live in some of this turmoil and being scared of everything. Every time you walk somewhere, somebody going to break into your home, this, that, and the other. You can start voting differently if you want for that to change. But if you keep voting for the same stuff, well, you're going to get the same results. That's just how it is. So if you don't like how things have been going, vote for someone else. That's the only thing I can tell you. But for the most part of America and modern societies, they don't live in the fear of this stuff, of being attacked in the wilderness anymore. So it's other things to be thankful of. You don't live in a war-type situation constantly. But yeah, always remember to pray. Pray for yourself, others, lost, found, all people, all nations, all societies, all situations. Always something to pray about, and we're commanded to pray everywhere and never cease praying. And don't forget to give God all the glory, praise, and worship, and thanks in everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. So I'm going to go ahead and end this lesson here. So until next time, God bless, good day, and goodbye.